Hello everyone, welcome to Lectures by Aparna. In this video, we will discuss about semiconductor materials. So this is a very basics of electronics. The construction of every individual solid state electronic device or ICs begin with semiconductor material. And this semiconductor material should be of the highest quality. What are semiconductors? Semiconductors is a special class of elements and they have conductivity between that of conductor and insulator. So semiconductors have conductivity between conductor and insulator. There are two types of semiconductor materials which are single crystal semiconductors and compound semiconductors. Compound semiconductors means they will be compounds of two elements like gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide, gallium nitride, etc. Single crystal semiconductors means germanium, silicon, etc. So three semiconductors that are most widely used are silicon, germanium and gallium arsenide. To study semiconductor materials in detail, let us see their atomic structures. So looking at the atomic structures, we can see that there are three fundamental elements for an atom, that is electron, neutron and proton. The neutron and protons make the nucleus. They make the nucleus. The nucleus will be at the center and surrounding it there will be orbits. These are orbits and the electrons in the orbits are called orbiting electrons. Now the outermost orbit, that is called the valence shell, and the electrons in this valence shell, they are called valence electrons. So looking at the atomic structure of silicon, we can see that the atomic number of silicon is 14. So the electrons, 14 electrons will be distributed like this, that is 2 here, and the next orbit there will be 8 electrons, and in the outermost orbit there will be 4 electrons. That is, here there will be 4 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 valence electrons. In germanium also there will be 4 valence electrons, but its atomic number is 32. So electrons will be distributed like this: 2, 8, 18, 4. So 2 electrons here, 8 electrons here, 18 electrons in this orbit and 4 electrons in the valence shell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now looking at gallium, its atomic number is 31 and its electron distribution will be like this: 2 here, 8 here, 18 here, and in the valence shell there will be 3 electrons. 1, 2, 3. So this is having 3 valence electrons. Now looking at arsenic. Looking at arsenic, we can see that its atomic number is 33. So the electron distribution is 2, 8, 18 and 5. So in the outermost orbit there will be 5 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 valence electrons. So here we can say that silicon and germanium, they are tetravalent because there are 4 valence electrons. Gallium is trivalent and arsenic is pentavalent. Now let's learn about covalent bonding in silicon atom. For silicon atom, there are 4 valence electrons, that is, it is tetravalent. So looking at the covalent bond happening in the silicon atom, we can see that the atoms will share their valence electrons. So this bond that is formed by sharing of electrons is called covalent bonds. By doing so, the atoms will gain more stability because the outer shell, if it is having 8 electrons, see, look at this silicon, it is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because of the sharing, it got 8 electrons in the valence shell. So this will make the atom more stable. Now, although the covalent bond will result in a stronger bond between the valence electron and the parent atom, that is, between the valence electron and the parent atom, there will be a strong bond. It is possible for these valence electrons to absorb kinetic energy and break from this covalent bond. And this breaking will occur because of the external natural causes like thermal energy, light energy, etc. And so these electrons will break the bond and come out, and they are called free electrons. They are called free electrons. So the term free is applied to any electron that has separated from the fixed structure, and such a free electron is very much sensitive to any applied voltages. So when you apply a voltage to this semiconductor material, the free electrons will start moving and will cause current flow. And the external causes can be light energy, heat energy, etc. that is coming from the surrounding media. Another term used is intrinsic. Intrinsic. The term intrinsic refers to pure semiconductor material in which impurities are very less. It will be pure semiconductor material. So in intrinsic semiconductors, the free electrons are the reason for conduction. These free electrons are the reason for conduction in intrinsic semiconductors. And these free electrons will be produced because of natural external causes. So these free electrons are called intrinsic carriers. Intrinsic carriers. Now let us see what are p-type and n-type materials. Since silicon is a material that is used most frequently as a substrate in the construction of electronic devices, the discussion that follows will deal only silicon semiconductor. So the characteristics of a semiconductor material, it can be changed very much by the addition of specific impurity atoms. Impurity atoms to this pure semiconductor material. So this process of adding impurity atoms to pure semiconductor material, this process is called doping. And the resulting semiconductor material that you get, that is called extrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor. So these extrinsic semiconductors are of two types, n-type and p-type. In n-type materials, to make n-type materials, the impurity elements used are those which are having 5 valence electrons. So those impurities which have 5 valence electrons will be used as impurities for making n-type semiconductors. That is pentavalent elements like arsenic, antimony, phosphorus, etc. So these elements will be elements of the group 5 of the periodic table. This is the effect of adding antimony as impurity. This is antimony impurity. So here 4 valence electrons in the antimony is shared with silicon. These 4 electrons will be shared with silicon atoms. But 1 extra electron will be there. This is the 5th valence electron of antimony. This will not be associated with any particular covalent bond. This is not there in any covalent bond. This electron is free to move within the newly formed n-type material. So this electron will be a free electron. So these impurities, that is antimony, arsenic, phosphorus, etc., these are called donor atoms. The free electrons that are coming from the donor atoms, they have lesser difficulty in absorbing energy to start their movement and cause current flow. So even at the room temperature, there will be large number of carriers like this. And so the conductivity of the material will be much greater than that of an intrinsic semiconductor. So the material that is having this impurity will be having a conductivity that is much greater than. So for intrinsic semiconductor, the conductivity will be less than that of n-type material. So doping will increase conductivity. Now let's see p-type material. To make p-type materials, impurity elements used are those with 3 valence electrons, that is trivalent elements such as boron, gallium, indium, etc. These are trivalent elements, and these are elements of the group 3 of the periodic table. So this is the effect of boron impurity. So the effect of boron impurity is like this. So here what is happening? There are 3 valence electrons for boron, and these 3 valence electrons, 1, 2, 3, they will be shared with silicon atoms. Now it is 1 electron short of completing the covalent bond. If it was having 1 electron here, it would have completed the covalent bond. But here there is a void or a hole. So this absence of electron here, it is called a hole or void. So this hole will be represented either by a small circle or by a plus sign. This indicates the absence of the negative charge. The effect of hole in conduction of p-type material is as shown. So here, if the valence electron here in the silicon atom, if it absorbs energy, it will break the bond. So it will be having a greater tendency to fill this void compared to a pure semiconductor. So when it gets energy, it will quickly jump into the place of this hole. So what happens? This hole will be moved to here because the electron here jumped to this place. So the hole is currently in this position. So the hole flow is in this direction and the electron flow is in this direction, which means conventional current flow is in the direction of hole flow. So there will be a current flow in this direction. Now the impurity elements like boron, which are having 3 valence electrons, they are called acceptor atoms. So the n-type and p-type semiconductors together, they are called extrinsic semiconductors. Now let's see majority and minority carriers. In n-type material, the electrons are the majority carriers, since there are more free electrons that are made by doping with the donor atoms, and holes will be the minority carriers. So those shown in blue color, they are electrons, they will be more in number. Those shown in pink color, they are very less in number, 1, 2, 3. In p-type semiconductor, whereas holes are the majority carriers, since more holes will be made by the acceptor atoms and the electrons will be minority carriers. So those shown in pink color, they are holes, they are more in number, and those shown in blue color, they are electrons. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 of them are in blue color. So in the n-type material, see, when the 5th electron leaves this parent atom, say consider antimony. When this 5th electron is leaving this parent atom, then this atom is getting a net positive charge because an electron left. So this atom will get a net positive charge and it becomes a positive charged ion, and it is called a donor ion. Donor ion. So this donor ion is represented by these positive charges. These are donor ions from which the electrons got separated. But the n-type semiconductor as a whole, it will be electrically neutral because the total positive charges will be equal to the total number of negative charges. So this material as a whole, it will be electrically neutral. Now in p-type material, what is happening? From the parent atom, a hole is getting separated. That means it is getting a net negative charge. That means this is a negative charged ion, and this ion is called an acceptor ion. So these are shown by negative charges. Yes, these are acceptor ions which lost a hole, or you can say which gained an electron. So this is the n-type and p-type materials, and they are the building blocks of semiconductor materials. These are the basics of electronics. If this video has helped you, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.